Hi, this is Allison Lee Rosenfeld, and you may know me as the voice of Bonnie from Pokemon, and you are watching Anime Egotists. Will you please take care of my big brother? Happy watching!
What's bonkin', guys, and welcome back to the Anime Egotists. My name's Alex, and I am joined by the man himself.
I'm Richard.
That's correct, and we're just a reminder. I'll take the cold over the heat because this heat's unbearable for me.
Yeah, and I hate that we've had like two false falls already here in Georgia.
Yeah, that's correct. But anyways, we are back, and you guys seem to remember we've done both one. Actually, we've done two videos talking about anime characters that we would love to be friends with.
Yeah, but we only did one of the enemy characters that we would not want to be friends with.
Yeah, because for every great character that we're like, wow, this person's cool or this person is complicated, but deep down they're nice, there are so many characters that I think to myself, well, I mean, they're not asking to be my friend because you know it's me. Hey, but at the same time, I don't want to be their friend, whether they're annoying, mean-spirited. Just there are a lot of reasons why we think to ourselves, yeah, this character, this isn't gonna work for me.
Exactly. So here are a few more characters that we wouldn't want to be friends with.
Yes, and since you reminded me to do this at one point off the air, I'm just gonna say the last time we did this video, I said Black Star and Patty from Soul Eater would both be on that list. I am taking them off. After re-experiencing Soul Eater, I'm like, no, that we're friends. I would be friends with them. They're cool with me.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to hang out with Black Star still, but he's not nearly as bad as I remember him being when I first watched Soul Eater. So
yeah, he's not a friend I could hang out with for a long time, but like I could do like 4 minutes maybe.
do like one show of WWE and then send him on his way.
Yeah, go. Well, if I was watching as consistently, then probably, but we'd find something. But anyways, more characters we don't want to be friends with. May I start us off?
Go right ahead.
All right, first character, Ryuk from Death Note.
Okay.
All right, so a giant Shinigami following me around on a daily basis, telling me to kill people, is probably not someone who has my best interests at heart. Don't get me wrong, supposedly he loves video games and he's pretty chill personality-wise, but I don't, there would be a lot of pressure that would go into that, and a giant voice telling me kill, 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 probably not best for my mental health. I talk to myself a lot as is. I don't think Ryuk and I would be, it wouldn't work.
I can get that. I definitely view it as a bad combination that would lead to you making bad decisions. I have a feeling.
Oh, I don't even think that's the case. I think it would just be like, no, I don't want to do this. Hey, dude, let's go to IHOP, and he would just get sick. He would get sick of me at some point and just be like, so we're not going to do anything. Nope. Give me
You would
my
just hold.
Death Note back. Fine, take it.
Oh, I thought you would hold on to it just so that he can't go anywhere.
I would just write down characters who I knew are already dead. Like these characters are already dead. Yeah, I know, but it would get to a point where he would start to think which one of us is the real monster. But in all honesty, just my psyche would not be able to handle all that responsibility and just the idea of running somebody encouraging you to kill people. It wouldn't work out between us.
Yeah. Uh, so my first one. So I put Monoma from My Hero Academia. He's the character from Class 2B that really hates Class 1A, views them as show-offs and all that. Whether I was in Class 1A, I would get so annoyed of him blaming us for everything. I mean, regardless if it's our fault, the fact that we're still victims in it and all that. Um, but then also him, I think as if I was one of his classmates, I would still be very annoyed. Just the fact that he's like, oh my God, we're just as good and we have to prove it. It's like, that's what our future is for. Right now, I just want to pass the class.
I feel like it would be a case of it's like, hey guys, it's him. No, it's not us. It's him. Please, we're the good ones in this class. It's just him. So I apologize in advance.
And that's very much how it's portrayed throughout the show. But just, and then when he gets the, like his moment during the war, it's like, it's really nice that he does get a moment, but it's also like, okay, why are we pushing him as like this big hero. And I mean, I think he ends up being like one of the top 10 heroes, but I don't remember. I have to go back and see what the ending said.
Oh, geez, a character like that being in the top 10, I could understand why some people would be like, I'm not on board for that.
Yeah. So just everything to do with his personality just rubs me the wrong way. Like I, he can be a nice guy because he does with Eri when he meets up with her at one point, but if it has to do with anything with class 1A, I have a feeling he just stays the same way. So I could see it just getting really annoying, like class reunions or something being really bad.
Oh god, oh gosh. I feel like My Hero class reunions are actually OVAs people would want to see.
It's quite possible because of how the manga supposedly ends. I haven't seen it for myself, but I've heard what happens. There's a
Oh,
lot left out.
oh, and I've heard so many people are happy about the ending. I hear people absolutely love that ending.
Yeah.
But I can co-sign. I just looking at this guy's smug face, I'm kind of like, no, no. I'll be friends with that Momo girl. She seems cool.
Yeah. All right. Your next one?
All right, Minatsuki Takami from Dead Man Wonderland.
Okay.
Okay, so Minatsuki or Hummingbird, she is a borderline. Okay, no borderline. Is an unhinged character who's hell bent on just causing chaos, and she does have a sad backstory, but because of her backstory, she turns into a compulsive liar and was even willing to lie about how her father treated her, just so her brother would beat up their own father. Not to mention, she also made lies about being SA'd, and she's just unhinged and unpleasant to be around. This is not somebody who I would think to myself, hey, we're going to Florida. You want in or what? No, no, this is a person I'm like, please keep this person away from me. There's not a lot of upside that makes me think that we would get along and it would be best for my sanity.
Oh, okay. It's not the character I thought, but yeah, I mean, just yeah, she sounds like very manipulative, and I could see that being a huge problem.
Yeah. And before and yeah, full transparency, I did start Dead Man Wonderland because when I talked about my One Piece crew and I'm like, I want one character who's just so unhinged. But the difference is I thought to myself, I want one of my characters to at least redeem herself in some ways. Hummingbird doesn't seem to do that, at least where I'm at. And considering I'm almost done with the series, I'm kind of like, I don't think unless they turn it around in the last two episodes, I don't really think it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I remember it being on, I think it was Toonami, wasn't it, at one
I
point?
believe so.
So, and I don't know. I've heard such mixed things about Dead Man Wonderland. I just never give it a shot.
So far, it's pretty good, but like but she was the one who I'm like, no, 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 you're not invited over for dinner. Please, 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 no.
All right, I'll co-sign. As I said, I don't know the show, so I just remember it being on as a kid. So,
All right,
uh, so my next one, yeah. All right. So I put Kirito from SAO. He's the main protagonist, but
okay.
got that. He's got that stereotypical. Um, I don't know how to put it. Just main character where everything revolves around him in this world, but yet he still is the a little whiny, complainy about stuff. I don't know. I just don't think I would get along well with him.
I'm gonna be honest, it feels like all the bad stuff happens to the people around him. Like similar to when in Dragon Ball when they're like, Goku, the reason that bad guys keep coming here is because of you. And based on the little I've seen of SAO, I would kind of think to myself, dude, I'm sorry. It is too dangerous being friends with you. No, no, no thanks.
Yeah, just the combination of that he hits. I mean, he's a tester for the first game, then he has to go rescue his wife in the second, and then beyond that, he's pretty much he's directly attacked in like all the others. It's like, okay, you're the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, not to mention for everything I've heard, like every single girl falls for him and being surrounded by that, I'd be like, you all can do really, you're all fawning over the exact same guy? Oh, I'm disappointed in all of you, and then it would probably turn ugly really quick.
Yeah, so just the combination of things, I just don't want to really hang out with him.
Is he at least not like his? You told me about one best friend he has that kind of gets neglected throughout the series. Are they still cool or?
Relatively, the friend is a little older, um, like fresh out of high school or college age at I think this point in the series. So he just kind of has a job, and so he's more adulting when needed, but he shows up still during some of the arcs.
Yeah, but I guess my point ain't being like maybe he got the better end of the deal. Maybe he's like, ooh, I could be a main character, but I'd be stuck with Kirito and his pseudo harem.
Yeah,
Cut my screen time a little bit. It's okay.
yeah, just let me go.
Yeah,
I'm right.
and I would also get on Kirito for being like, dude, one of those girls is your sister. That's a little weird, man.
Yeah, I'd have to. It's, I always
I,
forget about that. I try to avoid that part.
yeah, I apologize for that, but maybe I can make it up to you because of my next pick,
Go right ahead.
Mereoleona from Black Clover.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, she's an incredibly loyal, badass person, and I do think she is a very good person. But dear God, she is a lot to handle. She's like, she's vicious. She's like battle hungry. And I get the feeling that if I hung out with her long enough, she would beat the snot out of me, which I guarantee you some of my friends would be like, yes, do it. Alex deserves it. But at the same time, I'm also kind of like, I don't want to go through that. I just feel like I would always be walking on eggshells. And while I know she would always have my back when things happened, I just get the feeling I would just be so nervous the whole time.
Yeah, I think if you're not Noelle, she doesn't she treats you all the same as like I'm better than you and I'm just here to kill time pretty much.
Yeah, and it's even the case if it's like, oh, I respect strength. So if you're strong enough, then she'll go, all right, I respect you. At the same time, though, compared to her, how many people realistically are that strong? Because, yeah, even with our Black Clover characters, I just feel like it's not going to work. And some of you might be thinking, oh, well, you're just saying that because you're scared of her, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, I'm not. You caught me. I will fully admit that, like, she is terrifying.
Yeah, I get that. I really do. She is very intense, and I think that you have to pretty much be a Crimson Lion to really be able to embrace that
Yeah.
mindset, I guess.
Don't get me wrong, love her as a character and love her as a fighter, but as a friend, it wouldn't work. And I know some of you were thinking that you'd be friends with her just because you think you have a chance with her. And I'll grant you that. Have fun, but just like please protect yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll co-sign. I think she's a little too intense.
Yeah. But if she ever wants to come on the podcast, she's more than welcome to, as long as I'm allowed to live. So, who's your next character?
I put Yumichika Aizaga, Aizawa from Bleach. He
Okay.
is the at the end of the series, he's the third seat of Squad 11. He's for the most of the series, he's the fifth seat. Um, he's well, first off, because he's part of Squad 11, their whole thing is loving to fight, but he also is very much about the beauty of everything.
Oh no.
He has the like his eyebrow goes like that, and he has an eyelash that goes out the same way. Um, just with how intense he can be, and the fact that he's like, I'm really actually strong enough to be the fourth seat, but I want it to. I wanted the number three, but I respect. I forgot what his that guy's name is, but Ikaku. Um, too much to uh even attempt to take it from him. So I stuck with the second most beautiful number five, and just weird stuff like that. And I mean, he can be nice sometimes, but then other times it's like if you mess with something that he views as beautiful, he gets like really mad. It's just a weird combination. I have a feeling I would mess up somehow and just get my butt kicked.
It's in. He's one of the bad guys or the good guys.
bad guys during like the Soul Society arc, but becomes a good guy later on.
I'm about to say he low key reminds me of Zarbon because Zarbon was very much vapid and thought of only liked beautiful things, stuff like that. The,
Mhm.
the only difference is I think based on what I've seen, Zarbon's a little easier to read. This other guy, I would just, it would be a case of I'm trying my hardest to figure you out, but you're giving me nothing to work with. So no, I'm sorry. Next.
Yeah, so just I don't know. He always just rubbed me like a little bit the wrong way with how he acts. So I was just like, I could be friends with him. I could be friends with like other members of the Gucci 13 that have weird personalities, but just his always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm dangerously close to like finally giving Bleach an official chance. There are some characters in that group that I'm like, oh, I might like this. I might like them. I'm getting closer, but it's gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, it's another one that you have to dedicate a lot of time to because it's not as long as Naruto or anything. And if you do a filler skip guide, then you can skip like a large parts of it to get to the actual story, but that's up to you.
Considering it'll be my first time watching a good amount of these episodes, I feel like I have to sit down and watch it, and then I'll come back and be like, "You couldn't have stopped me. You couldn't have warned me."
I'm interested if you when you do give it a shot, if you like the Balance arc, because you either love it or hate it, from my understanding. I'm one who like actually likes the arc because it's different, but other people really don't like it.
Yeah, yeah. There is a show that you've talked about before that actually is on this list, but I'm saving that for a little bit later.
Okay,
All right. So should I get to my next character?
go right ahead.
All right. I lied a little bit just there because, in all honesty, I couldn't decide which one of these two characters I want to be friends with less. So guess what? They're both on this list. I'm sorry. Shadow Prove and Link Vulcan from Bakugan New Vestroya.
Okay,
All right, so they are part of the Vexels, and they are the villains of this series. I'm going to start with Shadow Pro first. He is loud, obnoxious, and sinister. It just sort of comedic. Everything he does comes with a flick of his tongue and an evil laugh. Like if we went to like let's say we went to a restaurant together, it's just like, hey, welcome, welcome to Burger King or whatever. What'd you like? He'd be like, oh, I want a Whopper and make it snappy. And I'm like, huh. He's done that the whole car ride on the way here. He's just he's an obnoxious, albeit sometimes hilarious person, but he also whines a lot when he doesn't get what he wants. And just some of the stuff he says just makes me go, yeah, I'm sorry. He's not with us, but I'm still apologizing because well, I will fully admit he gets a laugh out of me every now and then, but that doesn't mean I want to hang out with him.
okay, yeah. I mean, I could see him laughing at stuff that isn't funny could be really annoying really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he laughs in his sleep, but maybe that's just my headcanon.
Oh God,
Yeah, and the thing is, if I recall correctly, his English voice actor is Shuji, like the bully from the first couple of episodes. Oh, so I'd be like, you know what? Bring him back. Like he at least knew how terrible he was. He at least learned, wow, I suck at Bakugan. I at least appreciate that honesty enough to be like, yeah, man, yeah, you can sit with us. But I, Shadow Pro, he's grown on me, but like I don't want to be his friend.
he's like that fungus that just won't go away.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing is, compare at least Shadow Prove has some sense of loyalty. Link, on the other hand, and he goes back and forth. Sometimes he's supporting the villain Spectra. Sometimes he's supporting the evil prince. Sometimes like everything he does simply to survive. And in some cases, you think, oh, that's pretty cool. But no, he only does it to better himself. And if it means that you have to suffer, he'll do it, and he'll do it with glee. Shadow Probe at least shows at times that he can be loyal to other characters. Link just looks out for himself, and it's at the point where I'm like, why I can't trust you in the slightest, so why would I want to be your friend? Also, unlike Shadow Probe, he's not hilarious.
Yeah, I could see that. It sounds like this is more of that one guy's like one Shadow Prove. It sounds like it's like he's at least he, you might begrudgingly be friends with him.
Yeah. Like if we were stuck in a room together, like we were stuck in a room together and I walked that out, like we might walk out laughing, but it might just be because I'm just so broken by by his attitude. But I can at least find we can at least find common ground. Link is just a jerk, especially when people were trying to help him, because he was bullying Alice and her grandfather when they were trying to help him get home. I'm like, okay, dude, they could have let you rot, which they're nicer people than me, but you decide to be cruel to them, and that's not cool.
All right. I'll co-sign. I have only seen like one or two episodes of the second series of Bakugan, so
Yeah,
don't know.
I told myself at one point like I told myself one episode today before we record, and then I watched like four because I'm like, ah, oh, damn, yeah, this is getting hard. Because I will say overall, well, I like Masquerade as a villain more than the villains of New Vestroya, but overall, oh, the villains of New Vestroya are better.
Okay, so the Masquerade's a better overall big bad, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah, I will say though, the other villain, I Vault. I love Vault because he's a villain, but he does have a code of honor and he's cool.
all right. I said I'll co-sign. I haven't seen enough of this series in at least any order that could be understood to actually.
Yeah, I do recommend it though, but what's your next character?
My next character is Rudeus from Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation.
Okay, I've been kind of curious about this one.
So he is the uh, is a really big perv throughout the series.
Oh no.
Even when he's a little kid, because it's again an isekai where this one is a like 30 something year old man gets reincarnated, 30 something year old stereotypical loser. He's uh doesn't have anybody in his life that really cares about him, dies, gets reincarnated into this magic world. He's, as I said, very perverted, but he ends up with overpowered magic because of how his mind works. His understanding of like science and stuff allows him to access magic that without like uh having to chant. And he ends up getting like a harem together, and like yeah, it's I just the combination of how perverted he is and the fact that he does get can be smug at some points. Supposedly he when he starts a family with three of the girls, he ends up yeah, like
Oh
yeah,
no, I think okay, I'm gonna be honest. I've seen clips of this. I think I've seen clips of this character, and there was one scene in particular that made me go, "Oh my God, I hate this guy." I don't know if this is the same guy, but based on your description, it could be, and I
kind
don't
of
think I
blonde
like
haired,
him. Hmm.
like blonde, light brown hair in
Yeah,
color.
there's a chance. I don't know. I'll have to go back and watch the video where that scene in particular got mentioned. If it's not that scene, then I'll rescind what I. No, I won't. I still don't like him from what I've seen.
Yeah, I watched season one and then I started season two and just no matter what I did, I just couldn't like him. I don't know. I've given up on the show. I just it's such a weird combination of things. Uh, I don't like him. He's annoying, and the fact that even though he is a legit perfect, he steals girls' underwear. He stole like his maid's underwear when they first lived. His teacher, who was teaching him magic, just everything with him is like, oh my god, you're. And then, but then somehow, oh, all I can think about is him. Is what the girls become pretty much.
Yeah, I feel like I said this before on the last video we did of this. There are too many girls in anime that I would say I want to be friends with them to let me to for me to be like, oh, like if I was friends with this guy, I would not be able to live with myself. I'd be like, late, I am sorry. I will dump this guy if it means we can continue being friends. My bad in the first place.
Yeah. So, Rudeus, just combination of things. I'm not. No, I'm
Yeah.
not getting along with him.
Yeah, and it's like I've said before, if I don't like the characters, I'm not sure the show itself is going to be for me. So,
Yeah, it's kind of your most stereotypical isekai.
I am watching an isekai right now, but that's another point for another day.
All right. Honorable mentions time.
Let's do it. All right. Hey, she's an honorable mention because I'm very early into the show, but based on the few episodes I've seen her, I don't think we would be good friends. All right. Labilia Christy from Eden Zero.
Okay.
All right. So once again, I very little of the show, but she's so vapid and mean-spirited, and especially to Rebecca. And I like Rebecca. She seems like a sweet person. Listen, but she's all about like trying to get she's fake. She'll be nice to people, but then deep down she actually hates them and she's rude. She's always talking about her channel. It's like, "Oh, I have more subscribers than you, Rebecca. What about you and what about you and Happy? What are you guys doing?" Like she just comes across so awful in the first several episodes I've seen. I'm just like, wow, you suck so badly.
Yeah, that's from what I remember, because I finished season one and I think maybe started a bit of season two a while back. She doesn't really get any better.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll finish the show and also play the video game because apparently it's pretty good. But just there's like maybe she gets better. But I'm at the point where I'm like, wow, within 2 seconds you've proven that you were just detestable. Well, and like I said, from the little I've seen, Rebecca's cool. I like her, so I would feel super weird being friends with someone who's so mean-spirited to her. Besides, do you know how annoying it would be to always hang out with somebody saying, "Hey guys, watch all my videos, like and subscribe. Would really appreciate all the support." That would I I can't imagine being friends with somebody who would do so. It would just be an obnoxious thing to do. Somebody always promoting their channel, telling everybody buy the merch and everything. It would suck. No, no. So we. The point being, I don't want to be her friend.
No, I can agree. She comes off as very much like heavy-handed when it comes to like trying to be the top. I forgot what the term is they use for their cube. Is it cube?
Something like that.
Cube star or whatever. Because they all I know they're like little cubes.
And the main guy's like, "Oh, she can be my friend too." I'm like, "No, dude, stop. You're making Rebecca my favorite character, but it's mainly because I'm not liking you at this moment either. But that's all I got. Maybe she gets better, but as for Eden Zero, I'm watching it. It's not too bad.
Yeah, I remember really enjoying it. I never, as I said, I never finished season two because it was coming out at a weird schedule when I was trying to watch it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So my first honorable mention, I put Tsukasa from Doctor Stone.
Okay.
He's the first big bad of the series. He's leading the Army of Strength against the Kingdom of Science, and his whole mindset is again that we're going to rebuild the world, but only allow the young to survive, and we're going to rebuild the world without all the hatred and exploitation that existed in the old world. But I side a little bit more with our main cast in the Kingdom of Science. Just there are ways to make the world better. You can still try to avoid doing all that, but by killing everybody who's over like 30 is kind of his goal. So he's smashing all the statues that of these people who may have nothing to do with it. They just may be like living their lives. They may be those that were fighting exploitation in the old world, but just weren't able to or necessarily beat what he saw. So the fact that he's just literally, I mean, smashing people's statues, it's like no, you're legit being evil here.
Do the statues have some sort of power or value to them outside of just being just statues?
Well, they're humans frozen as stone, like
Ah,
so
there
they're
we go.
legit people. He's literally murdering people when he smashes the statues.
And
Technically,
not
they
not
can
to
be
mention, and these statues aren't able to fight back, I take it?
no, they're you're legit stone. The only person we know of that uh, avoided it was Senku. Was the only one who managed to keep his mind unfrozen. Everybody else legit has no idea how much time has passed.
Yeah, and I look, I've said, and I've even kind of somewhat half jokingly, half seriously said that, like when I said Dr. Maruki from Persona 5, I understand why he's doing what he's doing, but he's not killing people. Well, he has a code of honor to some extent, but this guy just sort of seems like, well, if you get in my way, I'll kill you, and I'm doing it for the good of the world. I'm like, I mean, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you there.
Now, maybe when he does come back later after being badly injured, I think his mindset changes when he realizes that Senku can really change the world uh, to make the world he views that needs to exist without the exploitation and all that. But he's so he may change, but from what I've seen, I'm putting him on this list.
Yeah, I can understand that. He doesn't seem like the nicest guy to me.
Exactly. So your next one?
All right, Nibutani Shinka from Love, Chunibyo, and Other Delusions.
Okay.
All right, I've talked about this girl before to where it's like, hey, she has good moments, but overall, like she doesn't, she's kind of an annoying person. And then I did some unfortunate digging, hey, which it's gonna, I'll just get into it. So let's see. She seemingly knows a good amount of romance, despite not experiencing it all that often. She's annoyed with her friends a good chunk of the time, but deep down does care for them. She has some Chunibyo tendencies where she can get excited and lively, but is a little bit embarrassed by it. Richard, she's me. It just, in all seriousness, it's where I feel like the reason that I'm like, I don't know if I could be friends with her. I think deep down, when I really did some self-reflecting, I think we're so similar to the point where it just would not work. It's basically two of me running around, which in my mind sounds awesome, but in all seriousness, it's just we just have too much in common, and our personalities meld too well to the point where I'm like, this isn't working.
And it might be the opposite of like how opposites attract, sames repel.
Yes,
You might become too focused on the same thing that but in different ways. So you might really love something and they may really hate something.
Yeah, and I will fully admit that there are times where I'm like, wow, she went kind of too far with what she said, and there are times where I'm like, huh, I could have been a little nicer with how I phrased that. I think overall I'm a little nicer than she is, but at the same time, I'm just like that. I feel like the gang would just be like, yeah, you guys are exactly the same, and I'm like, you shut your mouth, Yuta, you shut your mouth, Rika. Dekomori at school, we're cool.
I think I would get along with them because I get along with you. So
That's not. You say that like it's a good thing. Trust me. Trust me. It's in all seriousness. I have said before that deep down, I just feel like while she has moments where I'm like, wow, she's being a good friend. There are other times where I'm like, wow, you're talking a lot of nonsense and you're not really like. There are times where she feel some of the stuff she says is goes from helpful to a little legitimately mean spirited. So I'm like, I don't know. There's part of me that finds her a little too obnoxious to the point where I'd be like, we, look, maybe in a giant group we'd get along, but just me and her one on one, I'd be like, yeah, this just look over there, don't talk to me.
yeah, I'll co-sign, but again, I still think I might get along with them.
Yeah, it's me trying to be self-reflective. I figured it'd be at least an interesting topic.
It's a different perspective that we've had before, I think, on this.
Yeah. Plus, if we ever do a sequel to what anime characters represent us, I don't have to put her on that list, so I can sleep a little better at night.
All right. So my next honorable mention.
Go ahead.
So this is one I think you might disagree with, but I put Duke Devlin from Yu-Gi-Oh on this.
Proceed.
Just the fact that he tries to like take over the gaming industry, not knock out the little competition he has, and then he uh gets so angry over the fact that um his evil backer was beaten and like in a coma and wasn't responding to him. He's like, okay, well now I'm going to turn your friend into a slave for me and make him bark like a dog in a dog costume for uh this. And just stand there. It's all to do with those first episodes. While I love the Dungeon Dice Monsters arc in the series, that Duke Devlin I couldn't be friends with. I couldn't. He's so mean spirited over something that he's like when they go like Pegasus was an evil maniac, kidnap people and like brainwash people and stuff. How could you like? And Devon's like, I'm gonna, or Devlin is like, I'm just he was paying to have my game produced.
I mean, you have to make ends meet. So in a sense, I kind of understand that. No, in all seriousness, he does get better and he does actively become a friend of the gang and help them out. But I do kind of understand in a sense because like there are times where I'm like, dude, especially the whole thing towards the end where he and Tristan are fighting over Serenity, and I'm like, does she get a say in this or no? Oh, no, okay, okay, yeah, sure, okay.
And the weird part about that is that Duke only like came around like partway through. At least Tristan was like there supporting Serenity because he cared about her brother, and like there's I feel like there's more connection between Serenity and Tristan than Duke.
Yeah, and like I've pointed out before in the video game, she seems far more interested in the player character than the rest of them. She's just like, no, I'm more interested in you, and the player's like, oh, huh. Well, so that's a thing.
So I just put Duke. I don't know. It's something about it sits right that I would not be friends with him.
Yeah, I will say his backstory in the manga is way more interesting. And in terms of friendship, it would be like if we were having a party, like I'd be like, no, Tessera, let's talk first. Let's talk first and then figure this out. Everybody else is like, you're in, nope, nope, you're in. Duke, eh, hold up.
Yeah, we'll meet up first, and then you might get invited.
Yeah, so I co-sign, but I also kind of don't co-sign.
I get it. All right, your next one.
Oh gosh, Uh, Mimi Imimi from Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens.
Okay,
All right, so Mimi. All right, just to spoil the plot twist, Mimi looks around the age of Yuga and the other their her elementary school students, but turns out she's actually 37.
it's
Yeah,
anime. Okay,
yeah, but she also has a child who I believe goes to their school, and she's the head of the and she works at the school as one of the higher ups. And she can be a little overbearing and controlling, but she is a good mom deep down and decides to tell her son, hey, you can rush school as long as your grades don't slip. That's not the reason why I don't want to be friends with her, though. She is. So the joke is that she's a lot older than the main characters, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But the way she talks is so obnoxious. Like she'll go, "Hey dudes, what's up? What's going on in the hizzle? Hizzle, let's boogie." And I would just be like, "Oh my God, I can't take you anywhere. Please stop talking like that. We don't talk like that anymore." Or there's just so and she even gives people gifts. Like she gave one of the main characters a VCR when she was undercover. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Okay, I do in fact know what to do with the VCR, but I just feel like there would be so much secondhand embarrassment that I'm just like, Mimi, I'm sorry, but you seem wonderful and you've grown as a person, but just this is too much. I'm so sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, it sounds like she sounds like somebody trying to be um cool with people half her age. Not even.
Not even, yeah, but and she, like I said, she does grow. She gets better as a person, and she is funny. As a character, I like her. But like I said, the secondhand embarrassment and cringe would just make me sad. The kid she gave a VCR, he legitimately said, "Oh, nice! I can add this to my obsolete technology collection." I'm just like, yeah, he's saying what I'm saying.
Hey, VCRs are amazing.
Yeah,
I can't say
my dad walked in when I was watching that scene. We could not stop laughing because the kid's just like, yeah, this is worthless to me, but thanks anyway.
that.
Yeah,
Well,
but
because
Mimi, she's a sweet person, but just I can't, I wouldn't be able to do it. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens, it's pretty fun so far.
All right. So my last honorable mention, I believe,
Go
right?
ahead.
Yeah. So I put Tengen from Demon Slayer. He's the sound Hashira. He's
Okay.
very similar to Yumichika from Bleach, being very much like flashy and all that. And he's supposed to be like the like a former ninja, but he's flashy. Um, really loves his three wives. So it's kind of a weird combination. And I just have a feeling I would not get along well with him. He would just I have a feeling he would know how to push buttons and really annoy me.
Yeah, look, in some cases I've heard that he's a pretty decent character. In all honesty, I've also heard that he is good to his wives. It's not really portrayed as that much of a creepy thing. It's just that I legitimately love them. That being said, I don't know. There's something about him that I look at and I'm like, I don't know. There's something about this guy I'm not sure I'm gonna like.
Yeah, I like him as a character, but I couldn't be friends with him. I have a feeling we just wouldn't get along. We may not. It, I have a feeling it would be one of those things that we just avoid each other. Don't we don't really hate each other. We just don't want to be friends with each other.
So like Piccolo and Vegeta.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We might get together with if we have mutual friends that want us to hang out, but we wouldn't get together ourselves. We're not friends that
Yeah,
way.
I definitely get that. I don't know anything about his wives, but maybe they're okay.
Yeah. I just know that he kind of retires after his first arc, so it's like, oh, and but he's still kind of a part of it. It's interesting. I haven't seen them Hashira training arc, which I believe is when he comes back. So I'm kind of interested to see where he went from where he was.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe I'd be friends with him and then be like, look, hey, Tengen's gonna be there. Just like, look, we just did Shadow Pro, so he won't be as bad by comparison.
So, as I said, like not really friends, but not necessarily full on hate. Just I don't think we would want to hang out with each other.
Yeah, I guess I can co-sign on to that. But my last character,
Go right ahead.
I know you'll agree with this one, Naomi from Zatch Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just part of the thing, like she's just such an evil demo. You know, it's ironic. They call in the Japanese version of Zatch Bell, they call the Momotos demons, and Naomi is far more demonic than most of the Momoto we see on screen. She is a mean-spirited bully who just gets off on her and her friends torturing Zatch for the whole series, and it's at the case where I'm just like, why do these kids hang out with her? I understand bullies flock to each other, but like it felt especially cruel. And if we're in Zatchbell and I'm like, I'd like to think I'd be friends with Zatch and Kyo, I can't be friends with Naomi. She feels so much more evil than the villains of the series.
Yeah, I she's the I feel like the brat you see who like she would hit like your kid and then you would you'd find her parent complain and the parent would say, oh no, your kid must have done something to her, so she's just defending herself.
And at that point,
And she just sits there smiling, but then as soon as her mom turns back to her, she's crying or something. Like she's the spoiled brat that gets away with everything at home.
yeah, and I'd be like, well, in that situation, be like, well, you must have hit my daughter. I'm like, oh, I can. Hold on, one sec.
Somebody has to.
Yeah, clearly you're not, and I feel like for a case would be me. Like we even talked about in the video how we said no, the video we did. Well, neither one of our Momoto would like Naomi. It would just be a case of you. No, no.
Yeah, I can 100% co-sign. I've seen kids that act that way where they feel like they can do whatever they want to another kid, and it's not a good thing. It's especially if it's endorsed by a parent, it's not good.
Yeah, and the worst part is, and the thing is when she's like, "Oh, I did all this because I like Zatch." I'm like, "Yeah," and there are two other girls who treated him relatively okay. Hey, by comparison, you suck.
100% co-sign. Yeah, no.
It's just
No, no, no.
it's just like you wouldn't hurt a little kid, would you? No, of course not. But my Momoto can. Kirito. Oh, just oh no. I thought we were supposed to be peaceful, not to Naomi. I'm proud of you.
It's one of those things. Oh, I thought she was a Momoto. I mean, what kind of human has like teeth like that?
Yeah, there was another Zatchbell character that I've been teasing talking about for a while now. I could have put on this list instead, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about them. I can't do it.
Uh, so ready for my last one?
Please.
All right. So this one is also kind of cheating a little bit, but it kind of all comes together. The Thunder Legion from Fairy Tail.
Okay.
So the only one of the three members of the Thunder Legion that I think I might get along with would be Bigslow. He's he's weird. So he's like almost on this list because like he has doll magic, which allows him to turn like little toys into things that can fire beams and attack for him.
That's kind of cool.
But he calls them his babies. And that's like the only thing that like throws me off about him a little bit is like, oh, that's just weird. So he's tentatively on the list, but for the other two is where it gets weird. Freed is so obsessed with Loxus, who kind of leads them, that it, it like borderline obsessive. He gets like really upset with himself when he fails during like Loxus's failed takeover of the Fairy Tail. And Evergreen is your stereotypical tsundere. She like treats everybody except for Loxus as if they're below her, and then uh like tries to insist that she deserves to be like uh Queen of the Fairies because that's the title given to Urza partway through the series. And she's like, well, I'm just as good, so I'm going to prove it to you and all that. And then she falls in love with Elfman partway through the series, and but starts treating him with like scum because she doesn't understand her feelings. So she's the stereotypical tsundere with like everybody. It's just jealous of anything that the women get that's better than hers, and the man she falls in love with she treats like really badly. So
Yeah, I think you know my history of this channel. Like, there aren't too many tsunderes who would be like, yeah, I'll be cool with you. I'd be like, no, just no. As for the other one who's like super obsessed with serving Loxus, I'd be like, is Loxus even all that great? And then I feel like I'd get an earful.
yeah, so just the combination of stuff with that, I put all three just because it's like that's what they are. They are always together, so I grouped them together in this case.
I don't like, considering I put Shadow Probe and Lync on the list together. I can't even be upset with you for that. So I consider that a good choice.
Yeah, I feel like Big Slow might be able to like slot right into a different group of people and be just fine. I mean, he'd be like that really weird like, why do you keep calling them babies? But other than that, I think I could get along with Big Slow. But the other two, no,
Yeah, I don't blame you. I remember you talking about Evergreen before, and I don't think I'm gonna like her. So I'm part of me. It's like, yeah, I will co-sign just because.
Yeah. All right. So you ready to wrap up?
All right, let's do it. So, my friends, who are some anime characters that you don't think you'd be able to be friends with? Make it interesting. Maybe even pick some characters like, I love this character and they're a good person, but like it probably we wouldn't work.
Exactly. They could be members that join the main group. Like I had Duke Devlin on this list. He becomes a very close ally of the main cast, but he's still not my friend, really. So
Yeah, and like I said, if Mereoleona, yes, I am scared. I'm fully willing to admit that, but there's no shame in saying that. But just let us know what you guys think. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. We'll see you next time. This has been Alex.
and Richard.
And you have been listening to Anime Egotists. Good night, and peace easy.